Serena Adokse, 27, a woman who had built her entire identity around one man, Marcus, her boyfriend of 4 years, and the son of a prominent Lagos business family. Serena had sacrificed her career ambitions, relocated cities, and slowly dimmed her own light to fit into his world. She was warm, devoted, and quietly brilliant, but no one in Marcus's circle ever let her forget she came from a modest background. Still, she stayed, convinced that love was enough. On the evening she expected a proposal, at a restaurant she had heard Marcus had booked for something important. He sat across from her and ended the relationship. Calmly, almost clinically, he said she was not the kind of woman his future required. He was marrying someone else, someone whose family name carried weight. Serena drove home in silence. That night, she sat in her small apartment, surrounded by 4 years of memories, and felt something she had never allowed herself to feel before, completely alone. The unraveling, when everything falls at once. What Serena did not know was that the rejection was only the first domino. Within weeks, the job she had quietly neglected for Marcus's social calendar grew tired of her absence and let her go. Her lease ran out. Her closest friend, also part of Marcus's social circle, slowly stopped calling. She returned to her mother's house in Enugu with 2 suitcases, no plan, and a reputation in her old neighborhood as the girl who went to Lagos and came back with nothing. The story does not romanticize this season. It shows Serena at her lowest, sleeping in her childhood bedroom, scrolling Marcus's engagement photos online at 2 a.m., questioning everything she thought she knew about herself. She cried for weeks. She ate poorly. She stopped calling people back. But her mother, a quiet, no-nonsense woman named Grace, did not coddle her. One morning, she set a cup of tea on Serena's desk, placed a worn notebook beside it, and said simply, "Write down what you were before him, then decide if she's worth getting back." The turning point. She meets herself again. Serena opens the old notebook. Inside are sketches, business ideas, half-written plans for a sustainable fashion brand she had drafted at 23 and abandoned for Marcus's lifestyle. She stares at them for a long time. She begins to rebuild, not loudly, not overnight, but with the kind of quiet ferocity that only grief can produce. She takes a remote consulting job to stabilize her finances. She starts sketching again at night. She reconnects with a college friend, Temi, a branding specialist, who sees the fashion concept and tells her bluntly, "This is actually good, Serena. Why did you bury this?" She answers honestly, "I thought being chosen was better than building something." That sentence becomes the foundation of everything she does next. The rise, building the empire quietly. Over the next 2 years, Serena and Temi launch Adayeze Studios, a Lagos-based luxury ethical fashion label celebrating African women in mid to plus sizes, using sustainably sourced fabrics. Serena designs, Temi brands it. Together they bootstrap, fail small, adjust, and try again. The brand's first major moment comes when a Nollywood actress wears one of Serena's pieces to a film premiere and posts it without being paid to. The photo goes viral. Orders flood in overnight. Serena does not celebrate loudly. She reinvests every naira. By the time Adayeze Studios is featured in a Pan-African fashion magazine, Serena is 31, calm, focused, and carrying herself with the kind of ease that only comes from a woman who has nothing left to prove. She had not been looking for admiration. She had been building something real. The return of what she outgrew. Marcus reappears. He reaches out through a mutual contact. His marriage, it turns out, had been miserable. A strategic union that produced no warmth and eventually fell apart. He had followed Serena's rise from a distance. His message is gracious on the surface, but carries the familiar weight of a man who assumed she had been waiting. Serena reads the message once. She does not reply out of anger or bitterness or performance. She simply does not reply at all. Not because she hates him, but because that chapter had no more pages. She tells Temi about it over dinner. They laugh. Not cruelly, just freely. Love on her own terms. Around this time, Serena meets Emeka, not at a gala or a networking event, but at a quiet book fair in Abuja, where they both reach for the same novel. He is a civil engineer, grounded, privately successful, and completely unbothered by performance. He does not try to impress her. He asks her what the book is about. They talk for 2 hours standing in the same aisle. He is not an alpha in the way that word is usually weaponized. He is simply a man who knows who he is, and is therefore not threatened by who she has become. Their relationship develops slowly, honestly. He does not complete her. She does not need him to. What they build together is a partnership between two whole people, not two people trying to fill each other's gaps. When Emeka eventually tells her he loves her, Serena notices something. She believes him, and she is not afraid. Closing, the queen she always was. The story ends not with a wedding or a grand public triumph, but with a quiet mourning. Serena is in her design studio in Lagos, her own space, with her name above the door. Emeka's jacket is on the chair. Her mother's photo is on the desk. A new collection hangs on the rack. She is on a call with a buyer from London. The narrator reflects on what she lost, a man who underestimated her, a version of herself built around someone else's validation, and years spent making herself smaller. And what she became when she stopped, herself, fully, unapologetically, and for good. The final line lands simply. She had not become the woman every powerful man wanted to marry, because she chased that title. She became her, because she finally stopped chasing anything at all, and built something worth standing beside. End of story.